Yeah.
The Chicago Teachers Union of over 60,000 people has never struck in the last 30 years. They don't need, any union doesn't need that right taken away from them. How do you feel about that?
I'm with you. I worked with the Chicago Teachers Union in 1995, and I arrived at 2 4-year contracts that were fair, affordable, and fast. I didn't need any strike leverage. And that bill, by the way, contains more than no striking. It says that if you affect tenure, we could dismiss you faster. I had all those rules in place. I didn't have any problem raising test scores for 6 years in a row, and the teachers did that. It's all how you work with people. And I went before the CTU. Look, they're not going to love everything about me, I'll tell you that right now, because I'm responding to parents, too. Parents want to have some choices out there where they send their kids. But you know what? We're always going to have a good school, public school in the neighborhoods. I went to Kelly High School. My wife's a teacher. My son's a teacher. My daughter's a teacher. And my mother-in-law's a teacher. Where am I going? You know, I'm not going to take away the right to strike. Let's hope you never need it. I'll tell you about another thing my opponent said, just as long as we're on the roll here. He said he's going to take away existing workers' pension rights. He's going to cut you back. And I said, now why in the world would you do that? Because we made a promise. We made a promise that if you did X, we would do Y. And now because the heat's on and it's feeling uncomfortable, you want to pull out the scissors and just walk away. That's not Chicago. That's not who we are. A handshake used to mean something in this town. And now, I don't know what it means anymore. They don't like the meter deal? Well, nobody likes the meter deal. You can't just throw it out in the garbage. I mean, we took up $1.2 billion from those people, and we spent it all. I wasn't even there. They spent it all. And so now they want to cut the deal. They want to cut back on the deal. And the problem is, you might have to come up with $1.2 billion. You will have to if you win in court. They want to sue everybody. You're going to have to come up with $1.2 billion. Well, you know what? Live to your word. A promise is a promise, and figure out how to make this budget healthy again. And if you want just one idea, listen to this. You all pay property taxes. I had to have a surgeon when I saw my last property tax. Part of the problem is this. The city of Chicago owns 14,000 parcels of land. It's the largest landowner in the city, and they don't pay any taxes. There's all these vacant buildings around here. You got the Campbell Soup site, the Wrigley Gunk site. They pay low property taxes because they're vacant. If we don't turn this around and make the government a fighting force to go out and get companies in there on that vacant land, in those abandoned factories, we're going to be having a sick budget for a long time. That's the first thing you got to get to work on. Build our economy again. So just I told the teachers, and I said, look, I think that's a rush job down there. I don't know, but the pendulum in Springfield swings one way or the other way. Now everybody's out, let's kill everybody. You know, except they won't take care of business on the budget. But they want to take your rights away, they cut workers' comp and do 10 other things. I mean, you know, what's the rush? I mean, what's the rush? The bigger rush ought to tame that government from eating all your money. But they won't take that on it. But it's all, you know, a lot of it's for show, so you got to be careful. But no, I don't believe, and that stuff was never in my way. The fact that the teachers have a right to strike, so what? Don't let them strike. The guy I'm running against likes to have a tough guy image, okay? Look, I'm tough, so I come from the streets. I know how to be tough. But what you don't want to do, you don't look so tough on the third day of a strike. When those parents are calling the mayor's switchboard, lighting it up, saying, "Hey, kids are at home. Well, aren't they supposed to go to school?" Let the transit workers strike. See how tough you look then when commerce grinds to a halt in this city. Not so good to be so tough all the time. Better to be thoughtful.